welcome. My name's Henry, and today we'll be doing some warming up. And as you float in, feel free to ask any questions. I've got a concert later tonight. I had one yesterday that went great. It's the same program 5 nights in a row. So I've been getting better every single time for my own performance. And yeah, so thanks so much for joining. And I'm going to start today off with the trumpet exercise. I almost always start off my warm-up. The stamp exercise. I like to go through this one up in half steps. This is my new horn, by the way. I find even at the beginning of the day, it's really easy to sound great on this one. Thanks for liking the live and tuning in, everyone. I'm just doing some warming up on my French horn. Did my stamp exercise, the mid-register, and now I'm going to do some scales. How's it going, y'all? Any musicians in here? Hey, cool kid. Welcome back. Is this your first time in this stream? Or I think I might recognize you. Hello. Oh, thanks for tuning in all the way from India. That's so cool. Hey everyone, so thanks for tuning in. By the way, if you don't know me, I'm Henry. I'm a French horn player playing an orchestra out in Orange County, California. Thank you. I appreciate that you like the music. Yeah, I've got a concert later tonight, so I'm warming up for that. But also, if you play any music, feel free to let me know what instrument you play. So I play fourth horn in my orchestra, and that means I play low. That's my job. So I gotta make sure that I warm up my low register every day. Cool Kid is a drum and guitar player. That's so cool. Nice. So you're in a different kind of band, not the kind of middle school band that I got bullied for. A cool one. Living up to your name. Everyone, welcome. Any musicians in here besides Cool Kid? What's going on? What's good? Titanic? Uh. Oh, no worries. I don't know the Indian national anthem, but I think I could. Hello, welcome, BP. I think I could play Titanic for you. Da 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 dee da 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 dee da 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 do 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 dee. Nice. Cool. There's some Titanic for you. Nice music, bro. I need a music producer. Just trying to make some music. Good for you, man. I mean, keep looking. I'm sure you'll find one. I'm a classical musician, so the Walk of the Jabberwocky. Honestly, I wish I knew what song that was. You play saxophone. Nice. Saxophone and French horn players are kind of like brothers or cousins in band because we have almost always the same parts that we play. Thank you, Joker. Thanks for whoever requested that. Captain Jack Sparrow. My mom started playing piano and she was working on Pirates of the Caribbean very recently. So, can I do My Heart Will Go On? I think I just did. I wonder if you literally came in the like moments after My Heart Will Go On. Wait. There we go, with a key change. Careless Whisper, can I try? Can I play Ein Heldenleben? Now that's a deep cut. We got probably a horn player in the chat. I can, but I have currently forbidden myself from playing French horn specific excerpts until the end of my warm-up. So if you stick around a little bit longer, because this is only like a few minutes into what's supposedly my warm-up, I'll play Ein Heldenleben for you. That's like one of my that's one of my excerpts that I need to warm up the most. I almost got into warming up my low register. How's it going, everyone? Bestest, are you a French horn player? And Joker, do you play any instruments? Careless Whisper, I can try in a bit. What is Get Ready? I've never. Who sings that song? By the way, thanks everyone for tuning in. It's good to see you. Happy Friday. Joker, are you still here? Are you still interested in hearing Careless Whisper? Joker. Joker's an enthusiast. The Careless Whisper Titanic enthusiast. I'm actually playing Star Wars later this summer, which I'm super excited for. We're doing a film alongside the orchestra, so that's going to be... Those are always crazy, like Harry Potter and Star Wars. You get really excited fans coming to those, and it's like a really good time. Although the brass writing for John Williams is so fun, and like one of the reasons why I play French horn, but also at the same time, it's like you need an ice pack for your face after it's so much playing. It's loud, it's high. Can I play Star Wars right now? Yeah, sure. Let me find a mouthpiece real quick. Okay, we have a request to hear Star Wars. Wait, I almost warmed up my high register. I actually played that last night as a demonstration, that Star Wars solo, as a demonstration for what the French horn sounds like in my concert. And they asked the audience, oh, what was that theme? And someone yelled out, Frankenstein. And it was the highlight of the show. So anyways, try not to play it too undead sounding. By the way, thanks everyone for stopping by. I don't think I've ever tried playing Careless Whisper before. Can I even hear it in my head? Wow, I don't think I can do that off the top of my head, honestly. I can't even sing it. This exercise I'm doing, by the way, is a lip trill. This as a skill on horn, a lip trill is when you flip between two notes really rapidly. And it's a skill that I've never met anyone who could do it right away. And like many things in life, it takes just getting an inch of progress over and over every day over the course of months. So yeah, I remember when I first started doing them, I could only go this fast. And then slowly over the course of months, I was able to bring it faster. And I've been playing horn for 18 years. Hello, NF. How do you do? one Beyonce song, right? What's the most famous Beyonce song? Definitely not. I listened to the Daily about Diddy today, so. Fly to the Bumblebees. I wish I knew it. I can do a chromatic scale though. Close enough, exactly. So today for my concert, I'm playing a ton of high notes, so I've got to play a lot more high today. Am I a high or a low horn player? I like to say I'm a low horn player, but I'm high curious. Yeah, so I play fourth horn in an orchestra. Yeah, so I find that when I go to do my warm-ups and stuff, even though most of my job is low horn, for the small amount of high stuff I have to play, I have to warm up so much more, the stuff that I'm not good at, so. Ludwig, are you a horn player as well? Why do I warm up so much? That's a great question. It's because, I mean, if we're talking day to day, it's because every night I basically forget how to play my instrument, and I have to like warm up the kinesthesiology of like connecting with what I know with what I can actually physically do with my small muscles as a small muscle athlete. So it's like I have to physically remind myself how to play, how to coordinate all these different muscles. And because if I just walk in to play an orchestra, which is my job, what I get paid to do, without doing a warm-up, I will sound so much worse than if I do a warm-up. So the expectation is that you warm up and you sound as good as possible for all your concerts and all the nice, wonderful people who attend them, and also for you lovely people. Although you're all getting me at my least warmed up always. That is a great question. Why do you warm up so much? But also, why do you warm up so much in terms of time? Like, why do a 60-minute warm up when some people just play a high C and they're like, all right, I'm warm. And then they'll play their job professionally in orchestra. And some people can do that or are happy doing that. But for me, I find that the warm-up, for one, is setting me up for good practices for the day, but also in the long run. Like the types of things I practice in my warm-up are scales, pattern exercises, so that when I play through repertoire for my job and for you guys, when you ask me like, hey, could you play Star Wars? And I've never seen the music to it before, I can just sing it in my head and then hear the patterns and be able to play the music. Man, great question. Why do we practice? Why do we perform? Why do I do anything? By the way, this is a new French horn, and it broke twice last week, so I'm like very paranoid about it. It's my new instrument and already giving me trouble. for tuning in. By the way, do you play any instruments? Oh, thanks for the answer. I'm in school, so I only take 15 minutes. 15 minutes when you're in school, totally great. I mean, that you're already in the top 95, maybe 99% of people warming up for 15 minutes before you play. Avery, welcome back. Yeah, welcome. Do I have a good book of exercises like that? I only have a scale sheet. I'm actually putting something together. So if you follow me on Instagram, eventually I'll make a post about it. My handle's the same as it is on here, Henry Von Horn. The things I would recommend that are out there, I'm trying to think. There are some free resources, like on YouTube. There are some warm-up videos. I can recommend Andrew Bain. He has some warm-up videos that would be worth watching. They're like really long though. They're like an hour long. I'm not sure how old you are or how long you've been playing. If you've like only been playing for a year, then maybe that might not be your thing. But if you've been playing for like 5 or 10, that might be a really great resource. So how long have you been playing, Daniel? Yeah, how you been, Avery? By the way, I had a good concert yesterday. I played another concert out in a park. There was a food truck. I played Star Wars. Someone thought it was Frankenstein. We're playing the same program 5 days in a row. So it's interesting as a musician. Like, I thought I would get bored playing the same program over and over. But you get to, like, see how you compare yourself from one program to the next and try different things and see what works and what doesn't. I talked to you on Sunday. I'm in 11th grade. Oh, well, welcome back. Thanks for coming back, Daniel. Nice. So, yeah, I feel like most of the exercises that I practice here are in like Andrew Bain's warm-up routine. I'm not sure if he has that posted anywhere, but I might be able to share it with you. Yeah. So I studied with Andrew at Colburn for a year. I did my undergrad at Eastman. When I was at Eastman, my warm-up has changed so much as I've gone through school, because I did 7 years of school. So I did 4 years at Eastman School of Music in Rochester, New York. I did 2 years at Yale University in Connecticut, and then I did 1 year at Colburn in LA. So I feel like that was my last schooling, and I feel like a lot of the things I worked on there, I've kept with me and have helped me improve a lot since then. Can you play Ella Baila Sola? I wish I knew it. Oh yeah, today, also, by the way, I don't know, does anyone have perfect pitch in here? My brother has perfect pitch. It's like the ability to hear a note in your head or like identify a pitch when it's played. I don't have that ability, but my brother does. And I'm trying to see if I can train it. The internet told me that I can't train it now that I'm 28. It's too late. But I've been trying to learn and sing songs in the right key in my head. Eleanor Rigby. Oh my gosh, I love the Beatles. I actually played a Beatles thing, like medley, on my senior recital at Eastman. But I totally chickened out. I did the 4-No-1 solo. But I took it, it's transposed down like a 4th or a 5th, because I couldn't actually do it. Yo, we have a French horn. Is that a French horn player practicing Mozart now? That's crazy. Which Mozart? My go-to is Mozart 3. It was the Nocturno that I recommended. Yeah, for you, you're in 11th grade. Nocturno is a great piece. Also, that's by Franz Strauss. It's on IMSLP. Were you able to find it, by the way? It's kind of difficult to find music on IMSLP, or like for free for the first time. It's hard to know where to click, but once you get the handle at once, you can do it 1,000 times. And then the other one I recommended after the Franz Strauss Nocturno was the Camille Saint-Saëns Romanza, I'm pretty sure. So the one without lip trill. Oh, that's probably Mozart 1. I honestly don't even know if I've played Mozart 1. Unless you're doing like the third movement of one of your Mozart concertis, which are super fun, by the way. Oh, you couldn't figure it out? Dang. I mean, if you follow me on... do you have Instagram? If you can follow me on Instagram, I can probably send it to you. Or shoot me an email. You can email me at henrybonhorn@gmail.com. Yeah, Mozart 3 is so nice. I played that. That was my first piece I ever recorded. I actually uploaded it to my YouTube channel. And I played it with my brother who plays piano. And I had like the full Bieber cut. And put my horn on the leg, locked in. I played like the first page and I go to do a page turn. And all my music falls off the stand. And then I was like, "What?" And then played without music. I recorded it. It's on YouTube now, by the way, but it's also like the most deep fried recording ever. Like the gain is completely blasted because I recorded it on a laptop in 2010 and it was like the worst audio quality in the world. Chicago. Does anyone fugue staccato? Can I play what? Eleanor Rigby. Eleanor Rigby is kind of tricky. Da 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 da. It's a bit too chromatic for me. Da 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 dee da da. Kind of sounded out Eleanor Rigby there. Things I practiced today. I've done my stamp warm-up. I did some scales, high and low. I feel like I want to work on repeated articulation exercises and hitting notes really cleanly in the mid-register. I couldn't change the sound quickly. Are you working on lip trills right now? Osa? What health exercises makes you improve the most quickly? Hornman. Hello, welcome back, Hornman. What are you trying to improve? For me right now, I'm trying to improve my accuracy and my articulations at the front of notes, and especially at the top of the staff, because on a new horn, it's like you're figuring out how to play the instrument again, kind of for the first time, even though I've been playing it for 18 years. So trying to play a bit more accurately is like getting to learn where the horn wants it to sound. So I like repeated articulation exercises. So you can practice it like 5 different ways off the top of my head. You can do a slurred version, a fluttered version, an air attacked version on every note. You can do a legato tongue, you can do a staccato tongue. There's so many different ways. I don't know. You're telling Bill. Oh, Purvis. No way. Who is Hornman? A Purvis student for sure. And then I also love the Bill Purvis gave me these exercises in grad school as well, the double tongue exercises. Earth asks, how many hours do you practice a day? That is a great question. On days I have no orchestra, I'll probably practice like 3 hours. I'll warm up like an hour and then I'll practice for another 2. So in general, I practice 2 to 3 hours a day. But then on days, some days I have 5 hours of orchestra practice. So I'll do, 45 minutes of warm up and then I will do 5 hours of rehearsal. So at most it's like 6 hours, but I really don't like doing that. Sometimes it's really tough when you do end up in an orchestra. You have to play ballet and opera music sometimes at the same time, and ballets are typically 3 hours, and operas can be, they can be up to 5 hours long. But I did one that was 3.5 hours long simultaneously at a ballet. So I was doing like 6.5 hours of service time plus warm up. Is French horn a difficult instrument to learn? Totally. I feel like every instrument has its challenges, and the thing is, if you say something is easier to learn, like on clarinet or flute, generally, if you put down the right fingering, the right note will come out. And on piano, if you press the right note's going to come out. On French horn, you put down the right fingering and the wrong note comes out 20 different ways. So every instrument has its challenges, but then if you practice, like an hour on piano, maybe you'll improve at it faster. But the repertoire that you're expected to play is so much demanding. There are totally different skills you need for it. You need to read 2 staves at once, learn how to play and coordinate your left hand and your right hand. There's much less of that on French horn. It's like very simply, can you play the right note at the right time? I don't know the hunt, unfortunately. Nathan, I wish. Dude. I want to improve my double tonguing a bit too. Daga degi daga dago daga dagi daga dago daga dagi daga dago daga dagi daga dago. What are the keys on my horn? Do you mean these keys? Okay, so what do these keys do on French horn? So what they're actually called are valves. So when you press them down, the air, when you buzz air through the horn, it can go through extra long tubings, so it'll make it longer. So if I press down the second valve, it'll drop down by a half step. And then if I press down the first valve, it'll go down by a whole step. And then if I press the third valve down, it'll be a combination of the first 2 in length. So I'll go down by 3 half steps. So using that and the combination of like 1 and 2 together, 1 and 3, and then also this trigger, we can basically get all the notes we need to play. Because when I only don't use any fingerings at all, I do this. Those are the only notes I can play. I tried buzzing every note in between, and those are the notes that came out. What that is called is the harmonic series. And so I can only play these notes on that fingering. But in combination with the harmonic series of all the other valve combinations, I'm able to use some combination to play every note in the chromatic scale. I know, a lot to learn, right? It's a lot more complex than just the fingering sheet. Have I ever played a marching version of the horn, like the mellophone? I was never a mellophone player. I think I have played it once while teaching, but I think that's as far as I ever got. My version of marching band was marching to the stands, sitting down, and playing when we scored. And the team never scored, so we didn't do much. You teach? Yes, I'm a teacher and I'm a professional musician. So I play in orchestra and I also teach French horn players. And I teach online as well, so if anyone's interested in lessons, feel free to just let me know. Send me a message. I teach online on Zoom. So, okay, some things we did today: trumpet exercises, scales, double tongue. We didn't really finish the double tongue exercise. So we've done double tongue, we've done Star Wars, we did Titanic, we did a bunch of stuff. Joseph is a French horn player as well. Thank you so much for saying that. Dude, welcome to the stream. How long have you been playing French horn for? How much does a good French horn cost? Fly to the Bumblebee, another request. Someone requested that earlier. Unfortunately, I don't know it, but I can do this. I hope you'll take that chromatic scale as an offering. How much does a good horn cost? For a student model, horns are usually $1,000 to $3,000, and then a $3,000 a professional that you could win an audition on is probably at the low end $3,000. And then the like designer horns go all the way up to like $20,000 and $25,000. There are only two brands of horns that are $20,000 and $25,000, but you can get an excellent job. You can win an audition on. I purchased a horn for under $5,000 that I won a professional audition on. You can totally do that. So it's not a requirement to play a $20,000 instrument in order to succeed. It's just a requirement to practice a lot. Oh, you've been playing horn for 6 years? That's so awesome. Nice. So, did you start in middle school band as well? You made All-State for the first time last year? Congrats! What do you recommend going into my junior year? No way, dude, that's so exciting. Congrats, that's amazing. Dude, well, it seems like you're already on the right track. Do you have a teacher that you study with? Yeah, All-State was super fun. I got into All-State when I was in middle school, but then I got into high school and I didn't get in, and I like took it way too personally, so I never applied again. I wish I had, and I wish I had some resources to help. Joseph said yes, but I forgot the question I asked. I'm so sorry, Joseph. What's going on, Dismit? Specific brand for a student? I feel like there's some cheap horns that are okay, like the very, very bare minimum, but I don't really know much about them. I think those would be like, I'm not sure. If you just look up like brand new horns for under 1500, you'll find that. But for what I recommend more so than anything is if you get like a used Con 60 or Con 8D is probably the best. Yeah, Holtons are okay. They're good as well. What's the topic? Oh, we're talking about a specific brand of French horn for students. So, let's see. So I recommend, I played a Hoyer, which was very similar to a Con. Yeah. But a lot of my friends played Holtons. Yamahas are really good too. And I think there's some Briz horns that are like kind of really good as well. What do I practice? Do you always keep in shape? I kind of always keep in shape because I'm always playing horn. It's my job, so because I play in an orchestra. I mean, I have taken breaks, and it's important to like live life. But I have a super addictive personality, so I get addicted to like playing video games. As a kid, I played way too many video games. And then I got addicted to playing the French horn, which is kind of an insane thing to say. But improving a French horn is like a super fun. It's like a video game to me. It's like it's always different every day. And then if you mess up one day, it's okay. You always have tomorrow to like go on and fix what's going on. So what do I always play? I always do my warm up. I feel like there are 3 buckets of things that you can do to play in general as a horn player. There's one, your fundamentals. These are like patterns, like scales, arpeggios, and like flexibility exercises that are like going to keep you in shape and able to play any kind of music. 2 is so you've got your fundamentals. Second, you have repertoire, solos, excerpts, your band music. This is like the stuff that you play for other people and eventually you play like concerts in or have auditions in. And then 3 is fun music that is just for you and stuff that you love to play. And I will say, to improve the most at the horn, if you just practiced in the first 2, where you just play fundamentals all day, and excerpts, and you're like an excerpt king or queen, and you're just like smashing through Tillenspiegel day after day, or like a solo for Allstate, you're gonna burn out. Like it's very hard to keep that up over a long period of time. So the way to like stay addicted to your instrument or enjoy progressing the most is by having the most amount of fun you can. So every day, make sure you play something really fun, like Star Wars, or play along with your favorite pop song, Billie Eilish. With my students, I like to arrange songs that they listen to on Spotify so that they are interested in playing all the time. My top 3 favorite horn mouthpieces and my favorite piece to play. Okay, so for the mouthpiece question, this is a Holton H3. I like it. I have a Yamaha 30C4, which is a pea shooter mouthpiece that's good for high register stuff. And those are the 2 mouthpieces that I use. So I'd recommend them. I used a Lasky before this and it was good. The old Laskys I liked more than the new ones. What's your favorite piece to play? That is such a good question. What is everyone's favorite piece to play? Okay, so my favorite piece to play, probably in all time, is an orchestra piece, and it's called Alpine Symphony by Richard Strauss. Man, I've gotten to play that twice, and both of them have been in like, I think the last 12 months, and it's just like, or the last 18 months, and it's just so amazing. It's so fun. There are 9 horn players on stage. There are a bunch of horn players off stage. It's super fun. It's super romantic. Really good horn melodies. Yeah, that's Alpine Symphony. It's so nice. Super big stretches it, and horns are the heroes of it all. And it's so fun to play. Even if I'm fourth horn. I'm playing fourth horn. I'm loving it. It's like you still get really fun stuff to play. For marching band, Joseph, for marching band, I've always struggled with keeping the mellophone from stopping bouncing. What should I do to stop that I try a lot to keep from bouncing so it doesn't sound all weird? You know, that's tough because I never did marching band, so I'm not sure I could advise you as well as someone else who did. Has anyone else done marching band here? I feel like for me, I've never done marching band. I don't want to give you bad advice. Yeah. I'm not sure. I find for me, if I have to like play standing, I like to engage my core a lot more than I normally would, or just double check to make sure that it's engaged when I play. So when I go from an F to a C, or like an F to a D, I'm going to engage my core twice as much. And then when I go from a D to a G, I'm going to engage twice as much. And then when I go from a G to a high C, I'm going to engage, again, twice as much. So it's like 8 times as much support at the bottom, at the top of the staff or above the staff than below. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, thankfully I didn't have to do any marching band. I just did concert band. By the way, if you're enjoying this stream, feel free to leave it a like or drop me a subscription or follow. What college did you play at? I did a bunch of school. I went to Eastman for undergrad, I went to Yale for grad, and then I went to Colburn for a diploma afterwards. And then I did 2 years at New World Symphony, which is like a training orchestra. And then now I'm in the Pacific Symphony in Orange County. I'm a Henry, unfortunately. I'm not a Scott. So yeah, I played at 3 colleges, but I'm an LA kid, so it was nice being at Colburn when I was close to home. Joseph, are you thinking about doing music as a career? Any Broadway or off-Broadway shows? I love musicals. I got to do some of them when I was in high school. Man, I really wish I got to play Wicked. Either professionally or a teacher. That's so cool. Nice. Well, that's what I'm doing. So, welcome to the pro musician crew. Nice. So, Scott, like Scottish? No, my parents are English though, so thus the last name. That's really cool. Nice. Are you thinking of? Well, I guess you're a junior, so you've still got some time before, but you might be thinking of this year taking a lesson with your prospective teacher of choice. You know, trying to bring it down to like 4 schools or whatever. You've attended band camps at college, like FSU and FGCU. That's really cool. Nice. What made me want to play music professionally was actually a summer program I did in Massachusetts called BUTI, Boston University Tanglewood Institute, and it was just the best. It was so fun. Oh, welcome, yeah, welcome back. That's really cool. Yeah, Florida, I feel like has a really good band program, like a lot of really good instrumentalists. And when I went to New World, there were so many great musicians we did like side by sides with. I laughed, Mr. Dover, but unfortunate. Yeah, what schools are you thinking of, Joseph? The last thing I gotta really do in my warm-up before I start sweating so much is warm up my high register. FSU, nice. Arkansas, cool. Yeah, I mean, I think the most important thing when you apply to school is the teacher, if you're going into it for performance. And thinking about if you want a university experience or a conservatory. I did like a conservatory experience for undergrad, a university experience for grad. I think there's a lot of good that can come from going to university for your undergrad. Your GPA is kind of low. Okay. The sound jump practice cuts them out, but when you speed your breath, the attack becomes stronger. That's a good observation. Yeah, I find that when you breathe to like you're 95% full, that you get a lot of like extra support naturally, so it's easier to play high. Very good observation, OSA. Let me try to think of good music schools, like universities versus conservatories. I feel like conservatories don't really care about your GPA too much, but some universities might. I'm playing a piece today that starts on a high B. That warm-up sounds hard, yeah. Do I narrow my mouth? Let me try to think. I feel like things mostly stay the same. You don't really want to move too much on the outsides when you go up high. I was actually thinking about this a lot because I'm like trying to get my thoughts about high register down. And I've been thinking about it actually a lot and thinking about all the like quick fixes you can do to help your high register. And there are a lot of methods to playing high on the horn, but I feel like there are a few guiding principles, and I've narrowed it down to one is a faster buzz equals higher notes. Okay, so if you buzz faster, the vibration is faster, you'll get a higher note. Two, that big muscles are better than small muscles for playing high. So not relying so much on your face, but relying on your support to get you up there. And then three, the law of minimal effort, okay? This is the principle that you want to use the least amount of mouthpiece pressure in order to use the least amount of effort to play any note you play, especially high notes. So do I narrow my mouth? I have my lips really close together. I never really thought about this while I was in school, and I wish I had. But keeping my lips really close together, starting notes with like a pa in the high register or a ba in the low register, keeps them really close together, and then keeping them together like I'm going like or humming is good for like keeping them really close together. The instructor at FSU I met can play in the bass clef on horn. It was crazy. It was so crazy. Nice. Yeah, as a low horn player, you got to be able to do that. When you go into the high register, do you think it's natural to play them louder than the middle? So it's really interesting. It's really interesting about like, does something sound louder versus is it louder in terms of the way we measure sound in terms of volume is decibels. but the way humans perceive decibels changes depending on how low or high a pitch is. So if I'm saying, let's say I'm playing a note and it's 80 decibels, which is like a mezzo piano, it will be in the middle register, it'll sound like mezzo piano, but if I go into the low register, it'll sound piano. It'll sound way softer. We perceive 80 decibels in the low register as way softer. But an octave up, if it's at the top of the staff, like F sharp, human hearing for French horns between E, F, and F sharp will perceive that as louder, even if you didn't get louder. So you actually have to play a little bit softer as you do go higher, because your mind will hear, or human beings hear high notes louder, even if you're playing them technically at the same decibel level. Joseph says he's so close to playing bass. Do you mean bass clef or the string bass instrument? OSA, when I try to maintain the embouchure, my mouth hurts. Well, that's a good stopping point. Hopefully on horn, if something hurts, we're doing something wrong. It's okay to be tired by the end of a practice session, but if you feel like physical pain, like a stinger in your lips, then we're doing something wrong. Then usually, I would say it's usually too much mouthpiece pressure or too much tension, especially in the top lip. When we go to play higher, I find it's good to slowly go up. Try not to, you don't have to even change anything on your valves. Like play a third space C, and then speed up the air, okay? And try to keep your lips in the same position, as like completely relaxed as it can be. And you can keep your lips really relaxed while you do that. And when you remind yourself of that, then you'll have the least amount of pain. Stems ask a question. What is something that you do to improve your intonation or even strength in your playing? So there are two questions here. What do I do to improve my intonation? You can do two things. You gotta play with a tuner, or actually, well, there's kind of like three parts to this question for intonation. There are three ways to improve. One is to play with a tuner, especially in your warm-up, at the end of your warm-up, when you are relaxed and things are still going. You can look at a tuner and see if you're in tune. And then likely for your rehearsal later, you'll be in tune. At least you'll have a better chance of being in tune. Secondly, you can play with a drone. Like when you're on your own, there are cello drones on Spotify or on my YouTube channel. You can go and watch. I have like 10-minute long drones. You can practice along to a drone. So you can load up horn in C, and then just play like a C major scale and hear the difference. Hear where you get beats, like the sound of something not matching up, and hear where it like really settles and sounds good. And that's the second part of intonation. So use a tuner, you can use a drone. Or thirdly, intonation is relative to the people who you play with. So if you're playing with a piano, that piano might not be perfectly in tune. So, or if you're playing with your friends, they might not always play perfectly in tune, but if they're the melody or whatever, you want to match them in some extent. So you have to be flexible, okay? You can't just be like, I play at 8 = 440 and I'm always right, okay? So you have, it's like a social construct in a sense. So that's how to improve intonation. Get a tuner. I mean, my favorite tuner app is TE Tuner. But I recommend like the analog ones you can get on Amazon for like $30, but super cheap. You can get TE Tuner for like less than $5, and it's so good. It has a little happy face when you play in tune. And then the drones on YouTube are free. They're on my YouTube channel. Just look up horn drone in C or whatever key you want to play in. Yeah. And then what do you do for strength in your playing? I'm assuming you mean endurance. So the way to play longer or be like a strong player, I'd rather be an efficient player than a strong player, meaning that I can play all day and it takes me very little effort. So I want to be as relaxed as possible when I play. and use the least amount of effort. So again, I've been breaking down like the principles of the best way to play. This is brass playing in general, but especially French horn. The first principle, or well, this will have to do with the second and the third principle, which are bigger muscles over small muscles. Always go for using your support muscles rather than your face muscles. They're super small, they'll tire out. Your abs are gigantic. If you take a really full breath, like 95% full, comfortably full, you'll get a bunch of extra support. And then if you also engage your tummy, your high notes will come out way easier. You'll be able to play way longer without getting tired. And then secondly, you want to use the law of minimal efforts. You want to use the least amount of effort possible whenever you're playing a note. So you don't want to use as much tension. See, like, what is the least amount of lip tension I can use to get a G? So that's the least amount of tension I need to play a G. If I do that on every single note on the horn, then I'll be playing way more relaxed. OSA, do you use your breath a lot? I think about like warming up my breath a lot, actually. Sometimes I prefer breath articulations or breath attacks over tongued articulations. So one of my teachers said that the articulation is done down here in the tummy, not with your tongue or your face. So by breath attacking a lot more, you can find the center of notes and they'll sound a lot better. Sometimes, even in like professional context, I find that it's easier to breath attack a note, and then it's also easier to play in tune with other people because you know you're playing in the best part of your note. I might play some music, a little bit of music. I'm playing a bunch of music on the concert tonight. Concert's, I think, at 6 today. How's it going, everyone? Oh, I'm near the end of my warm-up here. I'm, at this point, just messing around on some rep. Joseph, thanks for sticking around. Oh, yeah, so, yeah, for solo pieces, yeah, maybe I'll try to help you out. I'll try to find some music. If you shoot me an email or follow me on Instagram, I'll help you out. That's great you got into Allstate, by the way. I would follow that momentum if you can. I mean, if you're interested in doing performance as a career, if you can, try to like audition for a youth orchestra this year. Usually they have auditions in the summer or the next like month or two. So keep up your chops and take an audition for one of those in whatever state you're in. Where's everyone watching from, by the way? There's one in Naples coming up in 2.5 weeks, and you've been grinding the pieces. Nice. That's really exciting. Naples, yeah, Naples, Florida. What a beautiful place. I've auditioned there before. That's really cool. India. We have someone watching it from India. Wow, welcome. Hi there, Chloe. STEM says, yeah, I get that. My main instrument is tuba, and most of the time I play on horn for fun. I just focus on trying not to overdo the air at times, but what is something you could recommend? Oh yeah, I've never done the like switching between instruments like that. I'm sure on tuba it's like a totally different game. I mean, if you use tuba air on the French horn, you might like blow a hole in the wall. Like, that's probably crazy. But you might be set up to breathe really well for the horn, which is awesome. Chloe's watching from South Africa. That's so amazing. Wow. Wow, everyone's here from different parts of the globe. That's so cool. And I'm here in LA, in California. Wow, so what could I recommend to not overdo it? Well, I think the number one like guiding thing, sometimes I have to switch between French horn or like switch between horns, like a Descant horn for high register stuff, or like a double, or even my other double. I just remind myself that when I go high, I use faster air, and when I go low, I use slower air. So I imagine when you go from tuba to horn, you have to speed up your air so much more. So you have to speed up your air so much to get the higher notes on the horn. What's my favorite phrase? On horn? I wonder. It usually, whatever it is at the moment. I feel like lately I've been playing a lot of Star Wars, but let me think about classical. One fun piece I learned recently was a Bach cello suite, so it's a cello piece. Forgot it. Oh man, I totally forgot it. Yeah. Wow, it's already escaped my head. Maybe that's for the best. You love it too? Oh, well, that's great. Thanks. Yeah, I like low horn stuff. Low horn is like, for me, low stress. I play it. I like how the horn sounds in the low register. It's nice and mellow. What is the best? Yeah, I think the highest note I was able to get was around high A above the staff, but it was still kind of inconsistent. Yeah, everyone has the top of range for whatever they're doing. If you're trying to get above high A, my recommendation, not that you asked, is to make sure you're relying on support to speed up the air. Sometimes my students, their tongues are too low or too far back, so keep your tongue forward and higher up. Maybe using, instead of a ta syllable, go te or t, especially for the really high register, t. Yeah, so you really want to speed up your air by engaging your support and then maybe changing your vowel shape to make less room in your mouth so the air just speeds up really fast. Hold the highest note you can and work down on half notes. That's what helped me. Yeah, everyone has their own methods. Mine is usually just doing on a harmonic series, like one fingering, so you don't have to think about it. And I'll just start on like 2 and 3. And I'll go up by an octave, and then I'll do a 1 and 2. And I'm just bending upwards and letting the note, whatever notes come out. Man, that's way above my pay grade as a fourth horn player. Bach is your favorite musician too. Okay, that's it. Yeah, so that was a high E flat. And the only reason I ended up doing that is, hopefully you didn't take it as a flex, but I do have a high D in my concert later today. So I actually have to warm up in the stratosphere. Generally, I try to warm up at least like a half step above whatever my highest note is for that day, so that I have to play in concert. I like to go above so it doesn't feel like too much of a stretch to play. Yeah, I find I like hit a wall when I tense too hard to like hit the next note. And when you don't want to use too much mouthpiece pressure, but a big mistake is people use a lot of mouthpiece pressure on the top lip when that's the vibrating lip. Okay, the bottom lip, this is super technical and people might disagree, but you can roll it in slightly and then play a little bit higher. People also tend to spread their lips apart, like smile, but that ends up thinning things out and you get really tired really fast. It's best to keep things forward. And if you put mouthpiece pressure, try to put it lower, not higher. Oh man, that high D is going to be... We'll see how it comes out later tonight. Oh. Well, this is about it. When I'm screaming out high Ds, that's when I know it's for sure time to call it. But thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. Stems didn't take it as a flex. Barely even started on the instrument last year, and I know that there are good players out there. I surprisingly made it to the highest band at my school. Congrats. That's so cool. Rolling the bottom lip is such a genius idea. I had to learn the hard way when it came to mouthpiece pressure. Yeah, it depends also if you have like an upstream embouchure or downstream embouchure. I have a downstream embouchure, so if yours is different, just throw out this advice. But yeah, rolling in slightly can help. I feel like keep it stable and the embouchure small. So aperture small. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. If you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you want to tune in again. We're doing these warm-up live streams all the time, basically every day. So thanks so much for joining, everyone. I hope to see you again. Okay, take care, everybody.